The Scottish trio Young Fathers are back with their fourth album, Heavy Heavy. Young Fathers first came to my attention with their second album, White Men Are Black Men 2, and I have been a fan of everything they've released since then. Their new album is no exception. Compared to the previous albums, Heavy Heavy sounds a lot more optimistic, or at least hopeful, but still maintains the kind of visceral intensity that they're known for. So many of the songs off Heavy Heavy feel almost ritualistic, like they're supposed to be listened to while dancing around a fire and clapping your hands. So strap in for a very spiritual experience that is Heavy Heavy. The opening track, Rice, evokes the feelings of coming home after a long journey. There's a chant of "These hands can heal" in the middle of the song, and there's the obvious spiritual connotations about healing hands, but it also feels like the warm embrace as you're arriving home to people. The song is full of an explosive joy, as if it cannot be contained, which really sets the mood for the rest of the album. I Saw is the second single, and is about Brexit, even though that might not be immediately present. On top of Brexit, the song is also about colonization, and really is just a call to action in order to fight oppressive systems. The song itself has a quality of a march, which sort of matches the mood of the kind of call to arms to fight these oppressive systems, and you get these nice shouts of, "I want to win," which, you know, I want to win too. The end reaches this crescendo of a chant, which is "brush your teeth, wash your face, run away." And it's almost sung in a mocking tone, as if to cajole you into the streets to do something, right? To break from the normalcy and actually take action and fight back. The song Drum continues with the optimistic mood, but is more directed inward. The song itself has this persistent beat that is almost hypnotic. Even the song itself seems almost self-referential about this, with the line of, "Hear the beat of the drums and go numb," which is exactly how you kind of feel when listening to this song. Tell Somebody slows the pace of the album down slightly, but still builds to this enormous and epic conclusion as the music swells. The song seems to be calling out to people who are struggling with mental health and asking them to tell somebody. It's a simple but direct song, and it's also very moving. Geronimo continues on the softer side, but again, it's still really intense. It's a song that seems to be about getting on with it, about how life is a struggle between fighting, but then also giving up or resigning or feeling burnout, but then getting back into the fight. I'm not totally sure what this has to do with the indigenous folk hero Geronimo, but I'm sure there is some connection there. Shoot Me Down, for me, solidifies the theme of this album. The song itself is very cyclical, and it invokes a lot of spiritual and religious motifs, such as the idea of returning to something continuously. The album is constantly balancing between feelings of action and cynicism, or fighting and giving up. And yet at the heart is this sort of like feeling of persisting through it. This song also utilizes these disjointed samples at the beginning of the song, which were really neat. The song Ululation was sung by a friend of the band who got in a fight with her husband and needed a place to stay. And while she was sitting in the recording, they decided to ask her to sing on the song. And the song is about gratitude, but in the face of being angry with someone. Yeah, it fits with the emotional contrasts throughout this album. So it's just this interesting addition of this like weird happenstance that allowed this person to be on the track to sing about her emotions and how those emotions fit with the overall mood of this album. Sink or Swim feels lyrically similar to the song Geronimo, but has more of the mesmerizing sound of the rest of the album. Much like the track Drums, this song is very hypnotic. Holy Moly stands out to me as being more of a pop song. It is super catchy. The drums are a combination of electronic samples, but also with hand clapping. The lyrics seem to be struggling, much like the rest of the album, through a series of emotional contrasts. And that really fits with the music on this song, which seems to use both more natural sounding or acoustic sounding instruments like piano, but also with these weird robotic sirens and saws. The album ends with probably the most polarizing track, which is called Be Your Lady, and it is a super weird song. There's a lot going on in the song, and I can see why it might be jarring to people. The song itself begins really pretty, but is eventually interrupted by this beat that almost feels out of place, like it doesn't belong. Despite that, I still really enjoy this song. The song seems to be about love driving you crazy or making you mad. And this is heightened when near the end of the song, the line, "Can I take 10 pounds of loving you out the bank, please?" is repeated over and over again, but in different accents, including a Southern American accent. And it sounds weird and nonsensical, but like very interesting and captivating. It really fits the mood of being driven mad. I feel if this album was any longer, it would have been too much. Like the hypnotic sound of it would have just sort of like overstayed its welcome. But it is a solid 32 minutes of intensity that I never get tired of. The lyrics on this album are emotionally compelling and are mixed with ritualistic and hypnotic beats that almost put you in a trance-like state. This is probably my favorite Young Fathers album to date. I would give this album, Heavy Heavy, an 8.5 out of 10. Sorry for the weird recording schedule this week. It is March break, and so I've been finding it hard to fit in recording with the children running around as they are not in school this week. Although, they are now with my parents, and I now have a house that is completely silent, and so I can record. But next week, I should be back on the regular schedule. So thank you for your patience, and I will see you next time. But please, if you like what you're hearing, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this album. Did you like it? Maybe even like the video. Likes are going to help me gain more traction and grow an audience. So if you want to help me out, please do the most simple thing you can do and like the video. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. I love you.